I never imagined my marriage would end in a cardboard box. Not literally, of course, but that box would contain every truth, every betrayal, every secret my wife, Claire, had hidden from me. That box would be the instrument of exposure, the tool that revealed her lies to the very people who had trusted her most. I loved her for 10 years. She was beautiful, charming, and intelligent. Everyone admired her, friends, family, even strangers. To my family, she was perfect. To her relatives, she was flawless. And to me, she was everything. I believed in our marriage, in the life we were building together, in the promises she whispered in the dark. But the cracks appeared quietly, the kind you can't ignore once you start noticing. A secretive smile at a text message. Late nights working when no one else could see. Obsession with her phone. I convinced myself it was stress or habit. I wanted to believe in her, and I wanted to believe in us. One evening, my world collapsed quietly. Claire's phone buzzed on the counter while she was in the shower. A single message froze me. Last night was incredible. Same time next week? The sender's name was David, a coworker I knew only casually. I didn't touch anything at first. My mind refused to process what I was seeing. But curiosity turned to horror as I opened the thread. Hundreds of messages, intimate photos, plans for secret meetings, jokes only the two of them shared. The proof was there, laid bare on her own phone, and suddenly every little lie she had told me clicked into place. Shock gave way to rage. My heart pounded, my hands shook, but I didn't act impulsively. I knew that whatever I did next had to be precise. This wasn't just about exposing her, it was about reclaiming my dignity, my power, and the truth. I spent the next several days gathering evidence. Screenshots, call logs, messages, photos, everything organized carefully, each piece dated and time-stamped. Every betrayal she had committed became a file in a folder on my laptop. And as I reviewed it all, a plan began to form. I wouldn't confront her privately. That would be too easy for her to dodge, too easy for her to deny. No, I wanted the truth to be unavoidable. I wanted her lies exposed to everyone she cared about, everyone who had admired her, everyone who had trusted her implicitly. I wanted them to see the woman I had loved for 10 years as she really was. I bought plain cardboard boxes and envelopes, memory sticks, and paper for letters. I loaded each USB with the screenshots, photos, and conversations. I drafted letters, polite, factual, unemotional, but leaving no room for doubt. Each letter explained calmly that Claire had been unfaithful, providing undeniable evidence. I addressed these boxes to her family, her parents, her siblings, even aunts and grandparents. Every one of them would know the truth. Sending the boxes was surreal. I felt like an architect of karma, assembling each piece meticulously, ensuring no detail was overlooked. I remembered our anniversaries, our vacations, all the times I had gone out of my way for her happiness, and contrasted them with the betrayal I now had to reveal. Each box felt heavier than the last, carrying more than physical weight. It carried the consequences of a decade of lies. The first explosion came sooner than I expected. Her mother called, panicked, demanding to know what I had done. I ignored the call, knowing that the boxes had already begun their work. 5 minutes later, Claire arrived home, her face pale, holding one of the open boxes in trembling hands. "What? What is this?" she stammered. I said nothing. I simply gestured to the folder labeled backup copies on my desk. It was a silent message, a mirror reflecting the consequences of her actions. She flipped through the papers, her hands shaking. "You sent this to everyone?" "Yes," I said calmly. "Every last one of them." Tears filled her eyes, but I felt no pity. For the first time in years, I held the power she had taken from me. Her phone buzzed endlessly. Her brother, her cousin, her father. Every call, every notification, a reminder that her carefully constructed image had been shattered. She sank into a chair, sobbing, while I watched quietly, feeling the cold, sharp satisfaction of justice done. The fallout was immediate and relentless. Her parents, devout and proud, were furious. Some blamed me for the public exposure, but the truth was undeniable. Her siblings were in shock, struggling to reconcile the woman they thought they knew with the person revealed by my evidence. Her grandmother, while heartbroken, wrote to me personally, expressing sorrow but also respect for my courage in bringing the truth to light. Meanwhile, her affair with David imploded. Once the boxes were sent, I emailed him directly, attaching copies of the evidence. His wife received her own package shortly thereafter. Within days, David was divorced, disgraced, and facing scrutiny at work. The world he had entered through deception collapsed, leaving him as exposed as Claire. Claire screamed at me for ruining her life, but I reminded her that she had chosen the path of betrayal. I had merely ensured that the consequences were unavoidable. The divorce process was bitter. She fought for the house, for financial assets, for sympathy, but the evidence I had meticulously compiled left no room for manipulation. Her lawyers attempted to paint me as vindictive, but the judge saw the truth. Claire had been unfaithful, deceitful, and reckless. In the end, I walked away with what mattered: the house, the savings, my dignity intact. Claire walked away with shame, whispered judgments, and a family that could never view her the same way again. Even now, years later, I reflect on the process with a mixture of sorrow and clarity. Did I go too far? Perhaps. Was it driven by vengeance? Certainly. But it was also an assertion of truth, an insistence that lies cannot stand unchecked. I gave her everything. She gave me betrayal. In the end, I gave her back the truth. And truth, once revealed, cannot be hidden. Today, Claire lives in another city, her family fractured, her reputation tarnished. I have rebuilt my life slowly and deliberately. I date cautiously, I laugh genuinely, and I sleep without fear or suspicion. The boxes and the truth inside them were the turning point. They reminded me that betrayal cannot survive exposure, that deception, no matter how carefully hidden, will eventually face reckoning. My message to anyone who finds themselves betrayed is simple: act with intelligence, preserve evidence, and do not let lies linger unchallenged. There is power in truth, in careful planning, in the quiet assertion of reality over deception. Sometimes the most satisfying revenge is not anger, but precision. It is patience. It is watching the consequences unfold with dignity and composure. In the end, the boxes were more than paper and plastic. They were a testament to what happens when trust is broken, when love is weaponized, and when lies are allowed to fester. I did not act impulsively nor cruelly. I acted deliberately, thoughtfully, and justly. And in that deliberate action, I found closure, satisfaction, and a sense of balance restored. Yes, my marriage ended in cardboard boxes. But in those boxes, I found something far more important than revenge. I found the power of truth. And once truth is out, it cannot be contained, denied, or undone.